Hi, my name is Mahaleyah.
Hello and shalom. My name is Yeshiah ben Shaleak.
We're here today to share some very pertinent information with you. In our community, the African Hebrew Israelite community of Jerusalem, there's a lot of debate going on about cults. Some people feel like there is a cult here in Israel, in our community, and some people feel like it isn't. So to help clarify some things, we have some information that we want to share, and maybe this can help you understand better if you are actually involved in a cult or not. Maybe not here in this community, but anywhere in the world. We have Marcia Rudin's 14 comic characteristics of a cult. So this is the information, you decide.
Okay, we'd like to mention point number 1. Members swear total allegiance to an all-powerful leader who they believe to be the Messiah. And it is a fact well known in our community and of our community that Ben-Ami, its leader, its spiritual head, has declared himself unequivocally as the Messiah.
Yes.
And there is no question that he has sought and has acquired politically, spiritually, physically, financially, and otherwise total allegiance, and does operate as an all-powerful personage at the very, very head of the community. He has no counsel, he has no opposition. He is in fact a total unilateral dictator at this point for all practical purposes.
Correct. That's very true. And he's written books to prove it. Okay, so number 2, rational thought is discouraged or forbidden. This is very, very true. One of the first things that you are taught once you come into the community as a member is sit down, shut up, and listen, because you don't know nothing. You know, if you're not reading the materials that Ben-Ami put forth, if you're not studying them and you cannot spout the material verbatim, then this is discouraged, and anything outside of that doctrine is frowned upon. People attending college and attending higher institutions of learning are often referred to as educated fools. So even the adults are taught immediately that this is the law and you obey it, and anything else is vehemently frowned upon.
And labeled as a deception.
That's true.
Right. So number 3 of the cult characteristics, the cult's recruitment techniques are often deceptive.
That's true.
Well, I have to admit that the recruitment techniques are clothed in a great deal of highly spiritual language, and the term culture has been used and used and used. We were told to dress in our culture,
Right.
which represented something higher and something high, holy, and sacred, and that anyone who did not dress like that was simply out of ignorance, or that they were part of the deceivers or the deceived. So definitely in that sense, the cult's recruitment techniques, which tell you that everyone else in the world is wrong, off, ignorant, etc., and you are about to enter the promised land and the only real holy community that exists.
More really, you're entering the spin zone.
Okay.
Okay, number 4. The cult weakens the follower psychologically by making him or her depend upon the group to solve his or her problems. Don't go to your doctor. What are you doing going to that hospital? Don't go to a psychiatrist. We're going to give you a God mind. We are cleansing your mind of all of the foolishness that the world has taught you. Depend on us to solve all of your problems. You have a problem with your husband? Come, let us solve that problem. You having a problem with your wife? Okay, you can have 7 wives. So you don't have to listen to the one wife that's giving you the problems. We can solve all of your problems. So come and join our community, because we are the example for the whole world to follow. If this sounds familiar to you, you might want to open your eyes.
Okay, I think that point is well made. Point number 5 of the 14 common characteristics of a cult. The cult manipulates guilt to their advantage.
Yes, yes, yes.
You find yourself up against any number of what I call guidelines that tell you what is appropriate about your dress and inappropriate about your dress. Tell you what is inappropriate about your speech, about your manner, about the way you think, about the way you make decisions. All of those things are scrutinized frequently. There are days when you should eat salt and there are no salt days. There are days when you should eat sugar and there are sugarless days. And if you happen to eat sugar on a sugarless day, you can bet you're going to get the guilties. If you happen to eat salt on a no salt day, you can bet you're going to get the guilties.
It's true.
So a great deal of that goes on. The cults definitely manipulate guilt to their advantage and to the advantage of the members of the cult or society or community.
That's true. Okay, now we have number 6. The cult leader makes all the career and life decisions of the members. Here, it cannot be stressed enough that cult leaders are generally dictators. They make every decision for you concerning your life, your husband's life, your child's life, your grandchildren's life. What we experienced was the spiritual leader of the community was so dictatorial that he even dictated what kind of underwear a man or woman should wear. He dictated who could get married, who could not. Every aspect of your life comes under his dominion. You want to travel? If someone is telling you when you can travel, when you cannot travel, where you can go, if you can work, if you cannot work, what is the name of your child, whether the youth can have a party or not, every aspect of your life is under strict control from one person, and that person's word is irrefutable. If you are in a group where there is a spiritual leader and only his discernment is the law of the community, beware. Please beware. Okay, enough said on that.
Okay, characteristic number 7. Cults exist only for their own material survival and make false promises to work to improve society. That's 2 parts, and let me speak to the first part. Cults exist only for their own material survival. The community of which we have spoken definitely is an isolationist kind of community and has not taken advantage of the many services that the larger community has offered except under duress, and when things have gotten to a point where those services have become almost a matter of life and death. That's an isolationist mentality that the community was begun with, that it is now attempting to grow out of. But of course, the unilateral leadership and its very egomaniacal desire to control every aspect of all thinking would like to hamper that process of somebody beginning to think for themselves. Second of all, the idea that first of all, the community knows what's best for society. The community knows what's wrong with society. The community is protecting you from society. And yet, at the same time, the community rarely serves society.
That's true.
There are no charities set up. There is no relationship to charitable activities that the community can brag about and say, well, we have financed this situation. We donated when the tsunami struck.
Right.
We helped out the people that were hit by the last great storm we had in the those kinds of things are not pursued. Only the greater society is only that place where you don't need to be involved in. You need to be right here inside of our little community.
That's very true, Yeshiah. Okay, so we come to number 8, which is cult members often work full-time for the group for little or no pay. Oh my, where do I start? Okay, first of all, you work tirelessly day and night, and this is a tactic that's used in these particular cults to keep your mind preoccupied. If you're working and you're working hard, you're so tired at the end of the day, you don't have the energy to go out and do any more investigation and anything else. Your mind is kept busy, and you're definitely not going to be paid for anything, and you're feeling too guilty because that's what he just said. Everything is induced by guilt. You're kept busy and you're not going to complain. You're not going to be paid, and you don't want to ask because you feel like, oh well, you know, I'm saving the world. I'm so busy saving the world that my children don't have shoes. I'm so busy saving the world that my family doesn't have enough to eat, and I'm not worried about housing because at the end of all of this, the windows of the world are going to open up and blessings are going to shower down upon me, and I'm a good and a holy person. No, I'll get all of my blessings in the by and by. Does that sound familiar? Because in a lot of these religions, you're taught to postpone your good. Your good will come later, after you're dead or in heaven. You just stay busy. You just continue to work. Never mind the retirement and the 401k. Never mind, because those things aren't important. But what happens when you get old? You have nothing to show for all of that hard work. You don't know where all of those donations went. You don't know where all of the money went. The only thing you know is you came and you worked very, very diligently, sacrificed everything for your family, and you have very little or nothing to show for it. Now, basically, we're going to stop here at number 8 because our time is running out. We're going to come back to you with the last 6 points for Marcia Rubin's 14 common characteristics of a cult. So stay tuned.